Ah deli kimin ele Uyle he Ahli berfelege Ah deli kimin evdale Hudemin go berfelege
Could you tell us a little about yourself and generally about your music background, both as a singer and as an instrumentalist?
When I was a child, my relationship began with the music because my father he's playing. He plays bağlama and he sings. So all the time in our home there was a music. But when I was in high school, he stopped this because we had to study the lessons and win the examination for university. So after that, when I entered the university, my education was on molecular biology and genetics. But I was lucky because in the campus in Bosphorus University there are many clubs and they do many things. Culturally and social life is very rich in that university. So I entered the folklore clubs, rehearsals, education about music. And that time I began to take some lessons about percussion, about makam, harmony and voice at the same time. After I finished the university, the department, I decided to choose which one I will be, and I wanted to be a musician, and I chose that way. And still, I am doing this in professional way. This is my job.
I didn't know that you're a biologist.
Really?
I didn't know. Molecular biologist.
And genetics engineering.
And now you are working as a musician, but from what I know you do two things, because you play and you also do your research on music, right?
I am studying in two ways in music. One in percussion area, the other is voice. And the third way now is the research. This is especially after I entered the master class and PhD in conservatory in Istanbul Technical University. But before that, I always wondered and tried to search, look, what is the music of women? Why they sing, how they sing, what is their tradition? This kind of things I am wondering. Now, in master degree, I searched women dengbers. You know, in Kurdish tradition, oral tradition, dengbers, they carry the tradition, they transmit, they are the narrators. So it is very important. And we know there are many women in this tradition, but they are secret, let's say like this. Not, we know, obviously, in public space. This is of course why we live in patriarchal system, and the other reason is Islamic way of thought, let's say. It is forbidden. It is sin if you sing this kind of thinkings. But we know that women are in this tradition. They produce, they sing, and they have power, of course. After that, I entered the PhD education. I started. Now I am writing my dissertation. The topic is again the woman and the music. But this time I choose music of refugee women. I made many interviews and talked with these women who came from Iraq and Syria, because you know there is still war in that region, and they told many things, stories, how they ran away really without wearing shoes or anything because they bombed everywhere, how they came here, how they live here, what they think about their future, children's future, this kind of daily life things and emotions, of course. Some of them compose their own songs, and in lyrics they say what they saw, how they feel, the life itself, the real war that they witnessed. And this is going this way. And I have rhythm classes also. I have a big female group, and every year we prepare a concert for 8th of March, Women's Day. And I play and sing in a band. Name is Kardeş Türküler. This year it will be 25. It is a long time, yes. We are doing this dramaturgically. You know, Anatolia, Mesopotamia, Balkany and Caucasians, these regions are rich in languages, beliefs, and culturally. So we are trying to sing, learn these cultures, and we sing in Arabic, Kurdish, Turkish, Azerian, Armenian, Georgian, many languages as much as we can do. Sometimes we do performers with the dancers also. I don't remember, but I think we have 6 or 7 albums now, and I am still the member of this band also. This is my music life in summary.
So this women language tradition is, you're saying that it's hidden, and it's when they perform only for women or for men as well?
In some community they have conservative. It is forbidden, of course. Sometimes they put a certain this
Curtain.
Between the people. So woman part and man part, they separate it like this. Some of communities do this still in their weddings. This is because of they believe this. But this is the fact, I think. If you search many klams mean the songs of the Dengbes. It is epic, long story, but they say with the melody, and lyrics are important, of course. You can find the name of Christian women. They are mostly Armenian, because they live together in this area, and they fall in love with a Muslim boy or a Muslim Kurdish man, fall in love with the Armenian girl. This kind of stories they tell in these klams. And the producer, the composer of these klams, I should research this, but I am in doubt that when we say woman Dengbesh, the Armenian women's, mostly they are Armenian maybe, because they are Christian and they can sing normally in public. They carry this. Maybe they heard from their neighborhoods Muslim Kurdish women and they sing. But I'm not sure. I am just thinking. And most people say that folklorists or authors about Kurdish folk music, they say that mostly men Dengbesh, they learn from the woman at home, and they go out and sing. But originally this is made by women. Women produce this kind of things, I can say. But in English,
And this thesis of your dissertation about refugees and the songs of the refugees, of the women refugees, this theme, how is it recognized in your university, in your country, in your city, in your everyday environment? Are you the only person who cares about it, or is it much more widespread?
Mm-hmm. There are some other peoples, of course, but not many. A refugee, they say about 3 million people came from Syria. This is a lot of people. The normal people, first we met them in the streets, of course. But sometimes still it is going on. We saw very bad events because some people still don't want the refugee people to come. Why they are coming? Go your home. There is war in your home. You are coming here and it is good life for you. This kind of things. And you are coming, you are taking our job. You are coming and our rents are increasing. They hate, in fact. Some people like this. But some people, of course, don't think like this, but many few, organizations take attention about the refugee problems, not many. I saw during this research, women mostly go to some association, they come together, talk what they live, their emotions, this kind of thing, and they do some musical workshop. And at the end they prepare concert, chorus. There are 4 chorus in Turkey, refugee chorus. One is in Antep. Raja, the woman, she established this chorus, and they gave many concerts in Antep. It is far a bit Istanbul. It is in east part of Turkey. Only women they are. And when I went to Antep and asked them why you come together and singing, does it help? Because life is difficult, as we think that you saw many things. They also said, yes, because we love singing. When we come together, we forgot the bad things. We of course remember our country, we miss our country. This is our tradition. By singing, we are becoming more powerful. We feel together, so we are coming. This practice. And 3 in Istanbul. One is Syrian woman chorus. The other is church chorus. There are also men, but mostly women. And they are Syrian. and Keldani. The other is the mixed woman and men mosaic chorus. And all these chorus, they sing in different languages. You know, Syria also is a multicultural place. But when I ask why you are singing Kurdish, Turkish also they sing, Arabic, in different languages, Armenian also they sing. They said because we sing for peace. We came here because there is a war, but we are here for peace, so we love to sing in Turkish also, Armenian, Kurdish.
But the songs you research are not only songs of professional choirs, yes?
No,
they are also
no.
songs of normal people, refugees who sing, yes?
Yes.
And these songs, are they written songs with composed melody and text, or are they improvised?
Some of them improvised by the woman, just now when I was with her. Some of them, they are traditional songs. When they were in Syria or Iraq, they were singing in weddings time, for example, when they doing some work. Some of them, yes, their own composers, and these are very important in my opinion because they wrote the lyrics and the melody at the same time. And this is historical document like the text because she tells about everything what she saw during that war. And this is mostly about ISIS, what they did, how they came to village, took women and young girl, kidnapped, raped, because they saw. And they gave the name of the village, when, this kind of thing. This is documentary, historical, very important. The others, yes, traditional songs they sing.
When they sing these songs, when they perform these songs, do they perform for the public or among themselves? What is the natural, let's say, situation for performing these songs?
When I went their home, they sang these songs. Because where can they sing? Not in public place, only home. But one exception there is, because in Diyarbakir, the Ezidi people, Kurdish people, but they believe in another religion, belief. Ezidi people were in a camp near Diyarbakir city. I went there. The women, they come together in a camp under the tree. 20 or 25 women were there, and they made a ritual. They sang lament, and it was a ritual, and this was, we can say, public, but among themselves.
One last question about this. When you come to them to ask them about the songs, what is their reaction to this? Are they happy about it? Do they appreciate it in any sense?
Mostly, yes, they are, because they wanted to tell everything that they feel and they saw, and they want to know that everybody should know what we saw, we lived. So mostly they told many things, stories and songs also. But some of them, at some moment, the most traumatic moment, when she remembered that they bombed the home, at that moment, some women stopped and said, I don't want to say anything, that's enough. But mostly, they told.
Jumping to another area, I would like to ask you about modal music in general, because to me, modal music is like a different philosophy of music than the Western kind of music. And so maybe I would like to ask you about how you would define modal music.
I can't define modal music. It is a big question. I can say that our music, but what I mean our music? Middle Eastern people, culture, Anatolia, this region, we have different makams. This tradition is rich and old. When we are child, even now, I don't know the makams very well, very little technically, but by hearing, till we are child, we hear and we know. It is in our mind. By hearing, we know this naturally.
I don't even know how to ask this question, because I'm imagining that if there will be people listening to this whole series of interviews, I think that for them it would be maybe not interesting because they are not aware of these differences, yes? But this is why I'm trying to pinpoint the exact places of difference, like how these two philosophies of music are different, right? Because in the West I think we are doing more with complexity, with many ingredients in a musical piece that together create this large musical piece. And in the East, in the Middle East, it's different. It's maybe less amount of ingredients in the music, but I wouldn't say that it's less complex or less interesting, or often quite the contrary. Yeah, it's really rich, and so this is why I don't know how really to ask this question. But
yes, I understand, but this is really a complicated topic for me. I don't know what can I say.
But if you were to tell someone, what is the difference?
What is the difference? Many things. The way of the notes, how they are organized, feelings, the way of singing also, because it differs from culture to culture. I mean, in Arabic also differ, in Turkish, in Kurdish. Even we can say it is the note, comma, microtonal.
yes,
Even the comma, it changes from region to region. In Arabic they differ, in Kurdish, Turkish different. Use comma, little things than they are. And also the way of singing this makam, bayati makam for example. Kurdish sing in this way, but Arabic sing in another way. The name is the same, but in fact no. This kind of varieties in itself. There are many little things.
but these small differences of a comma, for example, between one region and another, is it that everybody hears these differences, like can hear, it's different, or not? Because when we are raised in the West, often we don't hear the difference. It took us a long time to hear that there is a difference when Aram, for example, was teaching us.
It took us really long time.
2 years to realize he sings an interval, he sings a different pitch than we do. Of course, it has different flavors and everything, but we didn't feel these flavors.
This is because that from childhood we hear this. Because otherwise, for example, I can't say, this is Arabic Hijaz, different comma in Turkish. Normal people, it is difficult to find the difference, but feel. Emotionally, it is different. But of course, the people who know the theory can say it is easy for them.
Yeah, but this also what you are saying, that you are born in the environment with this sound.
Yeah,
because
yes.
when you were traveling to the camps to interview the refugee women, they're
I can
singing
easily-
modo,
yeah.
and they have no idea what they're
Mhm.
singing, and they're singing in all these different modes.
Yes. I can easily learn, even she sing in different language. It is not difficult for me, but I can't explain the theoretically. Because this is the reason I think we hear from lullabies and ezan 5 times they sing, read in different makams. So from many other things we know here.
And you have some experience for sure with working with Western musicians or non-musicians.
Mhm.
Like recently you've given the class for some people who not necessarily were musicians. What is your experience with this, and maybe with working with us?
Yes, during the Medeyas, it was so difficult for me, maybe for Marjan also, because of this. Because you mostly take care attention to the drone, but you can sing in many different makams with this drone. So when we say after this song, say Marjan this song, after this song, say Selda this song. But they are same drum but different in makams. So it was so difficult for us. During the performance, for example, I always need to remember the melody of Her Yer Karanlık, intro part or middle part, instrumental, to remember the makam. Because otherwise I can't sing. We need to hear the makam itself. It is not enough, just drone or third or fifth note.
It has to have a certain feeling, right?
Yes. Sometimes you want us to do this, but it is difficult for us. So very confusing. Sometimes cannot find the right pitch note. This kind of things we met. But this is a good experience in another side because we are trying to think differently. We used to do this, but this is different. So it improves us. I believe this is good because open the different way of thinking.
Beyrut Beyrut خيمتنا بيروت نجمتنا بيروت خيمتنا بيروت نجمتنا بيروت يا بيروت بيروت يا بيروت بيروت